Okay, it's on. All right, not visual though. Oh well, you'll have to hang on a minute. All right, let's see here. Where was the? Oh, you were back down here. That thing's on with the kitchen. Well, because I just had a doctor's appointment and I talked about Sunday. No, we're working in the kitchen. Cleaning. Garbage tonight. Gotta get all this stuff done for tonight. Thanks. Unless I do jumpers tomorrow night. If you skillets tonight. I don't know, but I'm working. Is there a problem? Oh yeah. Wait. Okay. Let me know if there is. Okay. All right. The laundry. I gotta go get the laundry in real quick. Hang on. Who's next? Start cleaning up the kitchen. All right, so that's done. Hold on, one more thing here. Put out your something. That bucket's getting clean. Okay, let me do this real quick. Oof. There it is. Here I am. Ooh. Wait, let's stay down. Wait a minute. Something. All right. Now, today. Where today? Let me see, go back here. Oh, that's why that tells us. Good boy. And this one, but oh well. I don't think I have. Oh. Oh. Works for that side.
I'm eating a burrito.
What do you mean? No. Why? We just had breakfast a little bit ago.
They're done.
Yeah. That's why you're supposed to eat more than just that. Just the meat, cheese, and ham thing. Okay. What? I made a very good breakfast before my doctor's appointment for all my children. Now they're all like, they don't eat properly. They want to eat just the meat and cheese. And it's like, you got to have some breads.
Who are you talking to?
Anyway, so.
Yeah, you talking to me?
Doctor's appointment. You talking to me? I left the room. I was done talking to you. You're not. You need me?
Nope.
Okay.
I need some chips now.
No! Stop! That's for taco night. Now quit.
No, it's not.
Oh,
dog.
that's not for taco night. Those are salt and vinegar, though. You know that, right? Munchies. Okay. So, where was I?
Is this tuna from out there?
It's not tuna. It's the sour cream and garlic, like what I used for the quesadillas. What are you doing? What? I don't understand. There's spinach and artichoke dip in there.
Whose room is this?
Mine. That little half thing. I couldn't eat my whole sandwich last night. I'm totally lost now. Daggone it. I know Zoe's on my mind. She's been on my mind, well, very, very early this morning. Where was I? I'm really just not right now. Things I want to talk about, I can't talk about.
You got salsa?
Yes. In the refrigerator. This is partially why. Would you like to get it so you can get out of the way? I didn't want to include you in the video, unless you want to be in the video. Put on the top hat and tails and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Come on over. And I don't know if the microwave messes with the actual recording of. It's done that in the past. Okay. I was gonna say, let me say something before he comes back. He comes back. What are no, what are you doing? Christopher James? What are you doing? Why were you pouring liquid out of that? Would you please answer? Was there something wrong with the liquid that was in that jar?
No.
Then why did you pour it out?
What?
It wasn't too much for me. I like to having the liquid in the jar. You know, you could have used a slotted spoon if you wanted to get. Now it's going to be too thick, honey.
Barely even dropped anything anyway. It was already drained.
You can use a slotted spoon for times like that. I used those on the ribbons last night.
I could tell.
Making me tired, kid. I have all this energy. I gotta get this started. I gotta get moving on this stuff. I had all this energy. I don't now. Where's me? Where was I? Okay, so yeah, it's always been on my mind. This morning I woke up early thinking about her, praying about her, because I know surgery usually happens, like, you know, they usually have you come in the morning, and usually for big surgeries, especially. In fact, they might have even had her go in last night. It's a good thing I prayed last night too. Anyway, I'm drawing a blank. And so I wasn't prepared for the doctor talk today, like I wanted to be. I had decided that, you know, we've talked enough at the moment that we can maybe start applying it, because that's where it really counts. Just sitting here talking about the two sides and what they do and all that, it's time to apply it. So I wanted to, you know, I thought a good way of showing it, something that she would be able to also watch herself, would be something on television like those crime shows. So let's talk about the killers and why they become killers, and also including sometimes why victims end up becoming victims. Because yes, sometimes things happen to us in life that make us more vulnerable than we normally would be. She used that word. That was a good word to use. Okay. more open. But that was better to say. I keep saying more open, but she said vulnerable, and my brain's like, yeah, it's a better word. But yeah, what was the one? I was telling her today about her name wasn't Aubrey Trail, but somebody involved in the situation's name was, because there were two killers in that case. There was the person who lured her in, and then the person, I guess, that actually did the deed. I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't know anything about their past or background or anything, but when it comes to that girl, um, I think, for as silly as it might sound, that scoliosis happened to her when she was still younger, I think teenager years. She was really focused on having like a soccer thing. I don't know if she was going to make a career out of it, but she was really involved in it. Probably wanted to use it through college, because you can get scholarships and stuff for that thing, for that kind of stuff. So, also again, I don't think I mentioned this to the doctor today, but she turned out to be gay. I think maybe I did. And again, not to say she wouldn't have been, but it's possible that she might not have been. But when things get flipped like that, because all of a sudden one day you don't have scoliosis, the next day you do, and it's not like I was in a car accident where all of a sudden something got shoot loose in the head, and so maybe it kind of makes sense why something just appears out of nowhere. This is just something that just came about, and it's not a common come about. Like cancer would mess with people's heads, but would be a little bit more explainable possibly than scoliosis, especially if it doesn't run in your family and there isn't anything like that. So anyway, the point is, the brain, in its attempt to figure it all out, goes into that instinctual brain, flips things upside down. On top of that, there's all the other stuff that's going on, the other hiccups that are showing up. They said she was a very personable person, very outgoing, very hopeful, open to people. And I'm wondering if after the scoliosis thing that she became even more so than she was. Now, a lot of people, even people right around her, might not notice that necessarily, especially because, like I said to the doctor, you have a lot of times people go through a situation like scoliosis or cancer or something, and then they come out of it and they're kind of more helpful, and they might be more, open and more, caring. And people say, well, going through something like that can make you, more so like that. So that makes sense, right? It does, but it also could be a hiccup. And if it's a hiccup, then that means that there's something the brain's not making sense of it. So, unfortunately, or if it's a hiccup and it's a recurring hiccup, I should say, then that means the brain's not able to make sense of it. So now it's going to use it, though, because it is something that makes sense. Being like that, being open and compassionate, especially after going through something like that, does kind of make sense, right? Hold on one second. Anyway, yeah, so that does make sense to be more open and compassionate like that after something, right? So, because it's something that does make sense, regardless of why, it just is something that makes sense. It's something that a person might start repeating, and not just repeating, not just being open and compassionate, but being over open and over compassionate. For example, when she moved out of her parents' home, she moved into her own apartment. But she oftentimes had people staying with her that she barely even knew. And, because she believed in giving people second and even third chances to help them out, help them get on their feet and stuff. Great, honorable. But you can see that over a need, over a compassionate thing going on. So, because of that, it's showing how her brain is kind of making her too open as it searches for the answers to make sense of why we have scoliosis. Because of that, it can also make us more open and more vulnerable than we normally would be. And so when we get onto a dating website and we meet people, whereas maybe we would catch those red flags, at least enough so to say, hey, friend of mine, come see this dating site. They might have said, hey, I see some red flags here, but we didn't see them. But in that particular mindset, she's not seeing them. She's not pointing them out to anybody else. I mean, there might not have been red flags. I don't know, because without specifics, I couldn't say. But sometimes we do kind of see those things. So it's possible. And she might have, before getting into that car with that girl and then disappearing, might not have. So how many burritos did you eat?
4.
Christopher, would you? Ooh. I'm not kidding. If you don't start eating the bread products as well with the meat and cheese, all that, we're gonna have issues.
We already do.
Huh?
We already do.
Whew. Bigger, so bigger. What was I doing? Hold on. So yeah, I think I actually finished that. But she, in a way, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, of course. And I'm not bringing all this up about her to be like, oh, you're big bad. The point is to say, I'm sorry that happened to you, but possibly if I'm correct, if my theory is correct about what happened to you and why, maybe it can help people in the future. So so the moral of the story is when we see somebody or ourselves go through something, big like that, and we become very compassionate, just be careful. Just be thoughtful of it and make sure the people around you are kind of thoughtful of it to make sure that you're not, I mean, I have to wonder how many of her friends said, it's really nice that you're so nice, but you're a little too nice. So, which again, it's not wrong to be selfless, but over selfless it is. It's not a good thing. No, I'm good. I don't need chips. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. Go on.
Which one are you playing?
Kids.
Oh, that one.
Just like it's not, being over selfish is the negative, but being regular selfish is not. We need to be selfish. Part of our, part of our brain needs to be like that. So, anyway, sorry. It's laundry day. What do you want? Anyway. So, same as selfless. There is a level of over selflessness that's not good. Oof. Anyway, so we did talk a little about that. We talked about the rest of Dahmer. I don't remember. I know I started. I really want to actually go through and retitle that video from the other day instead of calling it serial killers, because it really wasn't about serial killers. It was only about a little bit of one. To retitle it to something else, because I really need to, redo that video again. Because like I said, we talked about Dahmer, but we'd already touched on the subject the other day, but I wanted to finish up what I was saying. And that was that, one of the last, if not the last, kill that he made was an older man, and he was also a father. And I think that messed with Dahmer, with his brain, not him necessarily, but with his brain. And I say that because, so with all the rest of Dahmer's victims, he did certain things with them, including laying with and having a relationship of sorts with the body. Whereas with this one, he did not. If the television show and Wikipedia are correct, and I'm remembering correctly, it said that he didn't mess with it at all. Pretty much, they put a sheet over it and walked away. And of course, it started to decay underneath the sheet. Well, if my theory on the situation is correct, the real reason why that happened was because it didn't make sense to him. His brain did not know what to do with the body, which sounds silly because obviously he knew what to do with the body. He'd been doing it for a while and planned on still continuing to do it. And yet, this particular one, he didn't know what to do with it. Now, I told my doctor, I said, I kind of can understand where he was at because I was in a similar situation. I didn't have a dead body. So I really love shooting pool, and I've always wanted a pool table my whole life. Not my whole life, but a long time. And I finally got one, and it was just one of those press board 6-foot thing. It wasn't a real one or anything, but it was just like a secondhand store, like a Restore or something that I got it from, and I was just very excited about it. And of course, there's no room in the house to keep it, so I put it out in the garage. But of course, there's no room out in the garage. So then I put it out in the I put it out on the back of the garage, leaning it against the garage with a tarp over the top of it, and I left it there months. I don't know, a year, 2. I don't know, a long time. I didn't do anything with it. I wouldn't do anything with it. I couldn't do anything with it. I wanted to, just couldn't. So it wasn't until my sister showed up with the mold poisoning situation going on and her possibly having to live in the backyard in tents, that something like that would be breeding ground for mold issues. So it had to go. And then I was able to do something with it. And I was able to uncover it. And I hacked it up into bits. And then my family came back and they bagged it all up and took it away. But it was only because there's a need that made sense to helping my sister. That's why I could do something with that pool table finally. My big thing is an actual need to do something with it too. Otherwise, there was no need. There was no right here, right now need at any point during the time that I had that pool table in the backyard, in the garage, in the backyard up alongside the back of the garage. At no point did I actually have a need to get rid of it. For as much as my family would have been like, yeah, now we need to. And I did need to. It's taking up space. There was no real actual need to do something with it until my sister came along, and now there was. So, but anyway, the point is, same as with Dahmer, just covering up that thing that didn't make sense with the sheet. I covered my thing that didn't make sense up with a tarp, because neither of us could let go of this thing that was greatly important to us in some way, and yet at the same time, it's almost like not just detaching, but like magical detachment. Like, I'm going to close my eyes and you're going to disappear. That's how detaching the brain wants to be sometimes, which is why we shut down the way we do sometimes in arguments, and in just on that depression website. So you'd be talking to people one day, and then somebody would be gone, just gone, and they would just, their brain just detached. Nope, can't go back to that. And you might not ever see that person again, or you might, but for whatever reason, when the brain needs to detach, done. And so, but in a situation like that, where, when it comes to Dahmer, he was the only one who knew what he was doing. He was the only one who could come in and do anything with it. And the pool table, I know I've had people say, we'll do something with it. But I said no, and they left it be. So then again, it became just a me thing. Yeah. Just make it magically disappear. Nope. So, but it's weird because it's almost like the brain, that's what it needs. It needs it to just magically disappear. So, which is one of the reasons why I was able to get through some of my hoarding, is because I told my mom, like, look, I was a hoarder. I'm not actively hoarding like that anymore. I have my moments still where I'm collecting here and there because it's anxiety. When my anxiety gets bad, all of a sudden I need to collect, right? It's because my brain is searching for answers. And, so now it's got to collect. It's got to, bring in. But other than that, no, not on a regular basis like I was. But I can't let go of those things because my brain still is attached to them as if they are important, as if they are a need still, even though they're not. So I've told my family, sure, get rid of stuff. Don't let me see it. Don't let me be part of it. Sometimes I'm strong enough to be part of it, sometimes not. And so the best rule of thumb would be to just don't talk about it, don't tell me about it. It just disappears. No big deal. So anyway, until I get my stuff figured out, I'm unfortunately going to be stuck with those types of little habits still because of anxiety. It's searching for those answers to figure things out. Anyway, what was the other thing I covered? Well, I talked about the whole Terry thing, and how I want to help her with her depression. And step one is going to be becoming friends with the brain again. And we talked about, what else did we talk about? Talked about a few things. We talked about my one friend who's having some heart trouble. Their heart's been out of rhythm for many, many years, off and on kind of thing. And my belief is that, and this is just me speculating. Oh, it's pouring down rain. I'm not hanging clothes out today. Anyway, my belief is that, as odd as it may sound, that because of, we'll just say childhood trauma, okay, where almost like you are constantly, like out loud, not inside the brain, but out loud, like searching for answers of what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Okay. And I say that because she didn't seem to turn inward about it. She seemed to be outward about it. There are some things that became internal, but other things, it was more outward. She became agoraphobic for many years. Might still be, I'm not sure. And numerous other things. And the point is that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and this is just me speculating, that her arrhythmia, her heart being out of rhythm, or whatever they call it, is actually something her brain did on purpose in order to, in a way, match with her over anxiety. Because anxiety causes our heart to beat faster, right? But if you're always having this anxiety, always, then and for some reason it's internalizing or externalizing the way that it is. So that I'm saying that because not everybody is going to be affected that way. But because for whatever reason, her brain's doing this and it has this anxiety constantly, that's going to wear a person out. And over the years, she's never been worn out. Like, she's always been a very active person. Forgive me for saying it this way, but she's been like a man in a lot of ways. She's done the roofing, the plumbing, She's the type to get down in the dirt and just do whatever, And I don't want to say that women don't do. I'm just, the idea is that, you can imagine, she would dress in the man clothing, female shirt maybe, but, she's got the tough jeans on, she's got the boots on, she goes out there and she just walks knee deep in whatever, taking care of animals, countless things, which has been really, it's a wonderful thing. She's been very active all these years, even though she's had this out of step arrhythmia, heartbeat thing going on. But now she's slowing down. And now it's becoming a problem, more so than it ever did. And she's slowing down because of the depression. Because like I said, the anxiety is the search to make sense of things, to get the answers, to find out what's next, or whatever it is. That's the anxiety. It's the search. The depression steps in when there's just no way to search anymore. Or just can't right now. Just can't do it anymore. It's not making sense. Now more and more it's not making sense. What, babe? Yeah. Part of that might also be because her one daughter got married, and for many years she was worried her daughter had health issues. And for many years she was very worried about that daughter. And, her daughter would need her to stay around, right, to help her. But now it seems like all her children are kind of more so taking care of themselves on their own, more kind of less needing her. So if nothing else, for a long time it made sense to keep going, even if it meant the anxiety. It made sense to keep going simply because her kids needed her, and now they're grown and they don't. And not just they're grown, but like me, I don't want to say anything too personal about people, but kind of the failure to launch type thing, I guess. Still stuck at home kind of thing. Which of course was, I'm sure, very big conflict for the mother's brain, because in one instance it's like, not just do I need to take care of my children, but now I need to take care of my children's children kind of thing. So I need to just be, on top of her anxiety that she's got and all her stuff going on. Now she's got this extra stuff going on. All at the same time, her brain is saying, no, not the mama. Detach, not the mama. So then that's why there would be a lot of conflict sometimes. It would almost seem like in 1 minute she's arguing this way, and then the next minute she's arguing the opposite way. That's why. Because it is almost like one part of the brain is saying, need to take care of everything, all of it, even what's not my responsibility. Gotta take care of it all. At the same time, there's that conflict. No, not my problem. Not the mama. Remember Dinosaurs, the little show Dinosaurs? Yeah, not the mama, not my responsibility. So, yeah, I could see that. Anyway, and now she's slowing down. And now the depression's catching up more. And because that's, now it's becoming a problem that she's got this heartbeat situation. I mean, it was always a problem. But as I said, it never stopped her. It never stopped her. In fact, a lot of times they only realized, she would have like a little bit of a, but, and because it involves the heart, you got to get to the doctors. Oh, you're out of beat. Oh, okay. Reset it, but it goes right back out again. And even when they reset it, it goes right back out again. So, unfortunately, the reason for that is, this is going to sound silly, I suppose, but her brain doesn't know it's okay to go back to a rather regular rhythm now. And I don't know why. I'm not in there, so I don't know why her brain doesn't know this, or maybe it does, but there's still a reason why it's saying, no, I can't. Maybe things will change. Things do change. Maybe all of a sudden.
Train is seniors, but just for safety because it's raining.
Well, you're in the house, honey, so your unskilled train won't get rained on it as long as you keep it in the house. But that's nice that you want to protect it. Splinters. So the brain, for whatever reason, might still think that there's a reason to stay out of rhythm because we'll have to go back into that mode again. Who knows? Can't say for sure. But I do think it's possible that her brain is doing that on purpose. And I shared that with the doctor. One thing real quick here I didn't share. I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. And that is, and sometimes the reason why those kind of things can't be changed is because, after however many years, your brain, your body working a certain way, you just want it to magically change. Nope. Gets used to working that way, and it's like an old dog teaching it new tricks. It's not impossible, but good luck. You got to have a really good, it makes sense, 100% type thing, kind of reasoning to give to the functional brain for it to say, yeah, we can change that. For it to say, yeah, we can allow the emotional side to change it because the emotional side changes stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Anyway, so I talked to the doctor about this stuff, and she said, well, actually, there is something called ACEs. It's a study that somebody did at some point, and what did she say? Adverse child experience, something like that. Anyway, she said that they found that children with certain levels of trauma or whatever, their body is affected. She said a few different ways, but one of the ways that she also said was cardiovascular. Tea leaves might know what she's talking about. Huh? Yeah. She said, yeah. Good job. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, sorry. I'm feeling a little pat on the shoulder. My doctor even said, a little pat on your shoulder, because for someone who doesn't have any formal experience or schooling or anything, for you to know things about the brain the way you do shows you have a really good understanding. What is that? Benjamin? Never. Hold on. I don't want him to touch that, whatever it is. Benjamin, take that to your brother. I don't know where he's at. Probably in my bed. Go. Tell him to get out of my bed. Ugh. There's stuff on my bed. In fact, there's a lot of stuff on my bed that I moved because of the doctor appointment. Daggone rotten kids. Ugh. Anyway. Kids. What else was I saying? Here I was feeling really good. Pat on the shoulder. I have a very good understanding of psychology, she said. But let's see here. I did tell her, though. I said I have to be honest with you, just because. Just be upfront with you. And that is what? What?
Mom, there's actually a call for you.
On his phone? No thanks. Yeah. Hang on. Big C. Okay, hang on. Yeah. In a dead car. Okay. Okay. What gas station? I guess Benjamin? Shoot. All right. I gotta go. Oh, I guess I'll turn this off. They're at a gas station in a dead car. And I gotta go figure this out. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm